danger, danger. 뚜루뚜 알람이 경고해. 거기서 멀어져야 해. 나나나나나나.
Hey guys, I'm sure by now you are all aware that EXO has just come back with their 6th full-length album, Obsession. So I thought it would be fun to rank all of their album releases to celebrate. This list will include 13 albums, so 6 full-length albums, 2 mini-albums, 4 winter albums, and 1 Japanese album. This list will not include solo and subunit releases. I just want to preface this video by saying I really like all of their albums. I just happen to like some a bit more than others. So without further ado, let's get into the ranking. I still absolutely love this mini album despite putting it last, but I just feel like the B-sides weren't as memorable compared to some of EXO's others, which is understandable since this was their first release. I absolutely loved all their pre-debut releases though, especially History. I feel like Mama was a bit heavy for a debut song. I really liked the music video, but the styling just wasn't it for me. I still really like to listen to this though, but it's just not my favorite. There are some B-sides on this album which I absolutely love, and then some that I'm just not a huge fan of. Monster was that title track. The music video and the song were perfection. I also liked Lucky One, but I didn't feel like it was title track material. It's a great song, but it just lacked a certain wow factor that Monster had. Lotto had a really great music video, but at first I just couldn't stand the auto-tune on the song. I think it's a bop now, but it definitely took time to grow on me. My favorite songs off the album are actually the slower ones, like White Noise, Stronger, and She's Dreaming. The deep house style of this album worked well for some of the songs, but I feel like it was kind of forced in with others, which is why I think I liked it less than EXO's other albums. I actually really love this album. It's just that I don't listen to the songs on it that much, unless if it's actually winter. A bit of a weird comparison, but it's kind of how I feel about Mariah Carey's Christmas albums. I really like the songs, but I just have to be in a festive mood to listen to them. Miracles in December as a title track is an absolute masterpiece. It has this beautiful orchestral feel to it, which really complements their incredible vocals. I actually didn't absolutely love this album from the first listen, but now that I've given it a couple of listens, I do actually really like it. I'm still not a huge fan of the title track. I feel like it was just lacking a strong chorus, and it felt more like a B-side to me. The music video was phenomenal though. It's one of EXO's best for sure. As for the B-sides, like with Exact, I just wasn't as impressed with them as I usually am. Typically, I'll love their songs right from the first listen, but there were only 2 or 3 that grabbed my attention from the start. That being said, I do think I'm liking it more and more with each listen, so I definitely still recommend checking it out. Imagine if Electric Kiss was a Korean title track. Everyone would be in love with it. I feel like this album deserved more attention, but Japanese albums by K-pop artists almost always get less. I feel like this album has more of an electronic beat heavy feel than EXO's other albums, but somehow it complements their vocals, unlike with Lotto, where I feel like the production and editing of the song didn't really work in favor of their voices. I don't know why SM didn't make full versions of their Japanese music videos. Electric Kiss is honestly one of EXO's best music videos, but even the dance practice has more views since the music video isn't for the full song. The reason why I have this album relatively low on the list, though, is because some of the songs were just Korean songs translated into Japanese, and I feel like the songs just didn't really flow as naturally as they do in Korean, so I usually just skip those.
Giving you my heart and soul. 넌 삶의 전부야 for life. 다시 태어난데도 난 너 아니면 안 되리.
I honestly forgot how much I love this winter album. For Life as a song is absolutely beautiful, and even though only 3 of the members are in the music video, I still really liked it. I felt like the shots were all gorgeous, and I loved how the music video actually conveys a story. I like the B-sides on this album better than the ones for Miracles in December, but while I don't exclusively listen to this around the holidays, it's just generally not a go-to album of mine when I want to listen to EXO.
You cry the way you smile. 내겐 얼마나 큰 의미인 걸까. 하고픈 말 놓쳐버린 말.
Sing For You was actually one of my favorite EXO title tracks for a while. I can't properly describe why, but it literally makes me feel like crying whenever I hear it. I also think that the music video is beautiful as well. While it might not be as flashy as some of their others, it does an outstanding job of conveying the emotion behind the song. As for the other B-sides, I thought they were all really cute, especially Unfair, although I might be a bit biased because of their live stages. I also appreciate the fact that they included Lightsaber as a bonus track because it's a whole bop. Overall, I think I like the songs about as much as I like the ones on For Life, but I just so happen to listen to them more. You know a mini album has to be good when it wins Album of the Year. My least favorite part of this album was probably the title track itself. The song itself is pretty good, but it isn't one of their best in my opinion, and I just didn't like the music video where they're just dancing in front of a box set. But literally all of the B-sides are amazing. It's been years since the album came out, yet I still regularly listen to them. I think the reason why this didn't make the top 5 for me was just because it wasn't a full-length album and I prefer to listen to albums with more songs. This list would be invalid if the album that revived physical K-pop sales wasn't in the top 5. This is just such a fun album to listen to, yet it shows off how much versatility EXO has as artists, even though it was released really early into their careers. Wolf was definitely an interesting title track. I honestly hated it at first, but now I think it low-key slaps. I still want to have a little chat with whoever styled them during this era. Growl was that song. I know it, you probably know it, the country of South Korea knows it. I think, like the contrast between Wolf and Growl, this album too had a wide contrast between some really fun, upbeat songs like Lucky and some darker, more angsty songs like Black Pearl. Yet somehow it really works and it feels like a cohesive body of work. I still regularly listen to this, and I love the B-sides on this album.
Don't mess on my tempo 들어봐 이건 충분히 I said don't mess on my tempo 그냥 얘만 훔칠 beat 어디에도 없을 리듬에 맞춰 1, 2, 3 Don't mess on my tempo 멈추지 않는 이 feeling.
For some reason, this album has just gotten better and better over time. Like, I think my love for this album is still growing, despite the fact that it was released like a year ago. Tempo is one of the best songs that EXO has released. The bridge still gives me chills. I presume it's what you hear when you enter the gates of heaven. As for Love Shot, I absolutely love the music video for it. Truly a work of art. I think EXO, especially Dio, really suit this more R&B influenced style that's reflected in this album. Songs like Ooh La La La, Oasis, and Sign have just aged like fine wine. I also really loved all the repackaged songs. Wait is such a comforting song, and Trauma just hits differently. My only complaint about this isn't even about the album, I'm just mad that they didn't get proper promotion for it.
It goes down, down, baby. It goes down, down, baby. 맡기고 소리쳐. 우린 we going go bop.
Y'all don't understand how badly I want EXO to have another summer comeback. I'll admit I didn't really like Coco Bop at first, but it's definitely grown on me over time. With Power, I feel like it wasn't as unique as EXO's title tracks usually are, but it's such a fun song that I honestly didn't care. I love the album from the get-go. All the B-sides sound different but have this catchy, summery feel. Many of EXO's best B-sides are from this album. The Eve, Forever, The Eve, Diamond, The Eve, Going Crazy, The Eve. Honestly, I wish they performed more of their B-sides during this era since there were so many title track worthy songs here, rather than performing Coco Bop 100 times.
I search the universe 널 다시 찾을 때까지 놓지 않을 거야 티끌 같은 기억도.
I generally get tired of albums that are just ballads after a while, but I still love listening to this one so much. All the songs have this ethereal quality to it. They just sound so beautiful and calming. Universe was one of my least favorite songs on this album, which goes to show the standard of quality that these songs have. This winter album really showcases how phenomenal EXO are as singers. There's just so much emotion conveyed through the songs here. I love to listen to this album whenever I feel stressed. It just has this really relaxing effect on me that I can't explain. If this was a full-length album, I'd be super conflicted as to what my number one would be. Let's get something straight. Exodus was, is, and will always be that album. Back in the day, I used to not like K-pop, but even I had to admit that Call Me Baby was a whole bop. It's still one of my favorite EXO songs to date. All 14 of the songs on the repackage are flawless, and there's just such great variety on this album. No two songs sound the same, yet they all have such a distinct EXO feel. Love Me Right and Call Me Baby are my two favorite EXO title tracks to date, and I think the only aspect that was lacking for this release was the Call Me Baby music video. Also, the promotions for this album were amazing. The Pathco teasers were such a good idea to introduce the album. I think this is a case where everything about this era just worked. The promotions built up so much hype, the album followed through with it, and the awesome live stages and repackaging were just the cherry on top. Thank you all for watching. Please let me know your album rankings down below, and make sure to check out EXO's latest comeback.